Hey, what's up everyone? Rinku here. Time to look at the April 18th patch notes. Before we start, I just want to mention that I want to revamp these weekly patch note videos. Every Wednesday, after maintenance, I plan to either live stream on twitch.tv/RinkuTalks and or record and upload a video specifically on the new content in Black Desert Online. Every Thursday, I will upload the BDO weekly recap. I will continue to go over the patch notes, but now we'll be able to talk about player reactions, other region changes, or even my experience of a change on the North American server. I can now also read the translated Korean patch notes before making the weekly recap. I stopped making the KR patch note videos because I plan to highlight the detailed changes in separate videos. Most of their changes are quality of life updates or updates that we receive at similar times, which we can now just casually talk about in these recap videos. For example, today I can tell you that the CC changes and the PvP damage changes were actually given to NA the same day as KR. In fact, because of time zones, we got this change several hours before Korea. Alright, enough about my ambitions, back to the notes. We have a lot to get through, but starting with the events, we have the Gryphon helmet boost. During this event period, which is just 1 week, this next week, the Gryphon helmet drop rate will be doubled by anything that drops a Gryphon helmet, and this goes great with the new Gryphon guild boss that was just released today as well. More on that probably below. We also have a Blackstone drop rate boost event. It's just a casual boost to Blackstones. Everyone wants it, everyone loves it, and it's finally here. Thank God. We also have the Loyal Attendance rewards, haven't refreshed. It's very similar. I heard there's cron meals in there, so sounds pretty cool. And Ellie's Mystical Lake Festival adjustments. It was extended for 1 day, obviously, because the patch is 1 day later, because we're getting new servers next week for NA. That's pretty much it. There's just some small adjustments. So this is the last week for that whole event as well. I'm pretty sure for possibly Koi as well. So all of that may disappear in 1 week. So catch them while they're there, for sure. For content updates, we have the Gryphon Guild boss, and it has its own page and its own description of how to fight it. It's like other Gryphons, but more complicated and a lot stronger. If you know how to summon the Guild Muskin, it's summoned the same exact way. You'll need to exchange Essence of Fairies for the Guild Boss Scroll, except instead of 15 for Muskin, you'll need 20 for the Gryphon. You can also, of course, get the Gryphon helmet as a drop. Also, you can get a Jin Bon Wan Viper from the Gryphon. Jin Vipers are known to be one of the most important crystals in the game. Pre-orders go for over 300 mil at points because these are so important. And it's just good content. It gives guilds something to do as a guild, and this is probably the most rewarding out of any guild boss we've seen. Now it's time for the mini stat changes. First, let's look at your renown score. Previously, gear score was your normal AP or your awakening AP, whichever one was higher, plus your DP. Now, in-game, it automatically calculates your renown score, which is your normal AP plus your awakening AP cut in half, basically averaging out both your AP ranges, and that is added with your DP to give you your renown score. Depending on what your renown score is, depends on what title and bonus stats you receive. The titles do not go above your head like normal titles, they're just an indication in your player sheet that shows what bracket of gear you're currently in. The bonus stats are a little bit more complicated. Depending on your renown score, you get bonus AP. Depending on your renown score again, you also get damage reduction. Depending on your current AP, you also get even more bonus AP. And depending on your current DP, you get bonus damage reduction percentage. All 4 of these bonuses are all added together for your bonus renown score stats. All of these bonus stats do not influence your normal sheet AP and DP. They're all shown in the renown score information in your equipment window. Just hover over the renown score and you'll see all the bonus stats that are currently active. Gear purification has been added, so you can now spend 100k silver to degrade gear from 15 to 14 for fail stacking. Although I don't think you keep the Blackstone that you would normally get from degrading on a negative karma alt, and I already know some people that are just going to keep the negative karma alt and just continue doing that, but there's now an in-game mechanic to help you fail stack. It's pretty cool. Players can now check all storages from multiple towns at a single storage keeper. So if you ever lost something in a storage that you forgot existed in the world, just could not find it, well, now in Valia you can just check every storage you've ever opened and just see everything you own. Pretty cool. Last week we saw the release of Fairies, and in the quest line we saw that we could give honey to an unstable crevice. This unstable crevice I deemed as the Rift, as it was called in Korea, and it is a red blinking thing that actually did not exist in our game for the past week. So it was finally added in this update, and it will randomly spawn at max 100 in an interval of 6 hours in the areas of pretty much every region that we currently own. I guess it's excluding Megoria and Port Rat. Okay, obviously it's not there, so good to know. Also, I believe the purpose of this is to obtain fairy petals for more fairies. I think that's the main job of these unstable crevices, so good to have. Next we have hunting, and I do have to say, when hunting was released, it was the most underdeveloped life skill I had ever seen. Back then we only had one daily, and that 5-minute daily was worth hours of hunting whales in experience. So to progress in the hunting level, you had to do the dailies. That was then later updated to 3 or 4 dailies, but today there is a huge revamp in quests and dailies altogether, and it may inspire people to level up their hunter level to get better muskets to fight better hunter bosses. If you have completed the Daily Hunter's Honor, which I believe was the original daily quest, you can now complete all these one-off quests and all these new daily quests, and with Hunter's tokens, you can exchange them for daily boss scrolls for hunting. You can summon the White Wolf boss or the King Brown Bear boss and hunt them. It's pretty cool. I hope a lot of these things give good hunting experience or good rewards. My dream is that hunting will actually be able to give me an income someday. But this is a great start for what was used to be a dead life skill. Also a small change to farming. Even if the growth of crops reaches 200%, the yield will not be reduced anymore. Hell yeah. We also have the PvP damage increase for every class, and it looks like every class falls between 5 to 10%, but they do vary. Also, this change and the CC changes I'm about to talk about just hit Korea the same day as us, a few hours after us actually, meaning that they haven't even had time to see how that affects the game overall. Previously, stun, stiffness, knockback were all in a set. Bound, knockdown, and floating were also in another set. Lastly, grapple was considered an exclusive effect where it could be applied in any situation except for invincibility. They believe that grab classes have an unfair advantage over classes that do not have a grab. Knockdown, bound, floating, knockback, stun, and grapple are all now in the same category and can only be activated at max 2 times. Stiffness is the only thing that can now be continuously activated, and yes, you can infinite stiffness someone now. I do not know why that's possible, but that's a thing. Air Smash, which is activated when your opponent is in mid-air, and Down Smash, which is activated when your opponent is lying on the ground, now only have a 50% chance. It also mentions, among other details, that even if it's the same crowd control effect, each class will have a slight difference in time of maintaining the effects. That's almost everything, but we're going to go over a few other changes. Tungrads can now drop from Aukman, Yona's Fragments drop rate has been doubled, the drop rate of the following accessories have been nearly doubled. That includes Crescent Rings, Vasi Belts, Sissel Necklaces, Narc Earrings, Seraph Necklaces, Ronaros Rings, Centaur Belts, Kadri Belts, and Voltara Belts. I don't know why I said Kadri Belt. Kadri is definitely a ring. Also, stat changes for a lot of things. Like I said, many stat changes. So, Nuver now has DR, Kudum now has more AP, more monster AP, but less DR. We also have green offhand changes, so a lot of offhand changes had different stats, even when they're in the same category as far as accuracy offhands, AP offhands, but now they all have the same stats as one of the class's offhands. So for example, all the accuracy offhands in the game now have the same stats as a Sayer Ornamental Knot. All AP offhands now have the same stats as a Steel Dagger. All evasion offhands now have the same stats as a Parrying Dagger. Damage reduction offhands have been untouched. Kreia offhands now resemble a Kreia shield, and Rosar offhands now resemble a Rosar shield. Gryphon Gryphon has 3 damage reduction taken from its hidden damage reduction and put on its normal damage reduction, so its DP has increased. Also, Steel Dagger now has damage reduction. Before we go to the cash shop, I want to look under the monster changes at the few paragraphs they have describing how they've majorly changed the PvE world. It's all based on the new Renown system, which is kind of weird because when it came out for Korea, I thought the Renown system was to balance PvP, not PvE. I now see that they need to balance the PvP side of this even more. When the Renown system originally came to Korea, and high gear score players fought other high gear score players, their initial reactions were that they enjoyed not being able to be one-shot and being able to dodge and counter after being attacked. While it does seem like this could possibly balance equal gear scored matches, especially above soft cap, it kinda makes gear score even more important and the gap between high gear score and low gear score even bigger. Unlike the Korean players' opinions, a lot of opinions that I've heard from NA, from low gear scored players, are that they now get one shot when previously they felt really tanky. For today's cash shop update, we have a ton of sales, starting with the Arzen memory package of 100, it's on sale. We also have a new package, the Lucky Wings pack, where you can get a Crown Eagle outfit, a Kama Sylvia blessing, and a Young Gryphon all together. Pretty cool. We also have the Canape outfit and the Kavaro outfit for Mystic, and a new item, the Blacksmith's Secret Book. So, you guys know the Blacksmith's Book hopefully is in-game where you can store a fail stack. Now you can store a fail stack equal to or below 100 with this new item. In the Blacksmith you can only buy up to 50. This one unfortunately is only buyable through pearls. It's kind of a scam, but it does exist if you want to save a Tet or a Pen stack. We also have storage expansion for every storage on sale, and we also have a new jukebox, the Spring of Balanos, and also a sale on the Kavaro horse set. And also, no, I'm just kidding, that's it. I think we're done. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you guys have any opinions on how I can make these videos better, let me know, because that's all I want to do. I love you guys, and I will see you guys next time.